Greetings, YouTube. I am your Lord and Empress Ball. Not Raiden Shogun, not I, Ball. And I have some news for you. The Leaker Hunt decree has been born, and my power will reign supreme. So if you didn't know, Honey Hunter is a website that we all use for character information, and we all use it to find out character resource and details. And what we do is use this website to figure out a lot of different things for characters, use a lot of things for talent materials, figure out about all the compiled data for like all the resources. But unfortunately, they also have this little tab here that says beta. And this beta tab also goes over the not so, well, they're leaks. Just cut and dry. They're leaks. The leaks go there, okay? And they also have for the weapons, etc. So today, there was something that was put out. We, as a legal department of the Shanghai Mihoyo Tianheng Technology Co. Limited, hereby report abuse case related to IP infringement and phasing on a website with domain name registered here. Honey Hunter, basically. About Genshin Impact, the game has been developing and operating continuously and diligently. For your reference, the game is available here. According to the law, we own all the copyrighted works related to the game, not limited to the artistic character images, maps, and weapons, as well as codes of the game. In the end user agreement between gamers and us, it is strictly prohibited to copy, reproduce, adapt, reverse engineer, decompile, disassemble, or otherwise create derivative works based on any of our services. So, essentially, this clause makes it so that if they don't like specific websites, YouTube channels, Twitch channels, whatever, they can just say, you're bad, we can take that away from you, you're bad. And they can do things, okay? So this is what it's saying in the end user license agreement, okay? That's why you should always read the EULA. You can always find the agreement terms here. The infringement website aforementioned contains and displays openly confidential statistics and copyrighted works of our gameplay package, as well as materials that have not been published by us yet. Found in the footer of the webpage, the website owner also admits they are subject to copyright and trademark rights by Mihoyo Limited, which means us we require sincerely, first and immediately, intervention or prevention of these infringing conducts duly, and secondly, stopping hosting the website or invalidating the link Genshin Honey Hunter World. Okay? So basically, the long and short of this whole segment says, Mihoyo says, you've been a bad kitty. No, you're a bad kitty. No leaks. Love you, kitty, I'm sorry. And they said, shut down Honey Hunter World. No more Honey Hunter. And no more noise. Also, leakers are getting banned. This, as you can see, this is a thread from a leaker thread from a lot of things talking about leaks, and Twitter accounts are getting banned. Okay, I can't show this whole thing, but I can show like part of it. So this is the tweet. The last leak from me. Have fun guessing what's real or what's not. Thanks to everyone who showed support along the way. Much love to you guys. This person got the bans on the Twitter. They get the ban. But because Honey Hunter is being taken down and a lot of other things have been coming out, what I have to say about this as a content creator is, of course, leaks are bad, and bad leaks are bad. But leaks have been really helpful for a lot of people. For example, a lot of people wanted to farm materials and go out in the open world and get a lot of things for characters. So what Mihoyo has done in response to this is, well within their rights, but at the same time, I think what Mihoyo needs to do to show that they care about people that are in the Genshin Impact community is give more details regarding characters before the characters launch. What I mean by that is like talent materials that the characters require, so that people know exactly what they need to farm out, if they can farm anything out at all. They need to release information about different artifact sets or scaling that the characters may have, so that you can pre-farm different artifact sets, so you can use the characters right when they're released rather than waiting for months after the characters release. Different level up materials that may be required for ascension materials for characters that you could potentially farm out or pre-farm out. But what they've done in Azuma, of course, with the most recent characters, is they've given you the availability to farm certain things out but not other things. For example, characters like, ever since Kazuha, we've not been able to farm out like day one materials for characters unless we've like the characters have been like released early on. So I think that Mihoyo needs to give a better roadmap for what to expect in the future. For example, what they're doing right now for Genshin Impact is they're releasing these different types of pictures for different characters that are going to be released in the future. Now, these pictures just let you know what's going to be coming in the next patch, and they've done that for Raiden Shogun as well as for Sarah, and they did that previously for other characters as well. So I like that they're doing this and they're taking the steps. But what should also be included in this, like a footer here, is basically materials that you could actually get right now for the character, so you could start planning to use this character on day one. That would be really, really helpful, because a lot of people like ride the excitement and they want to play these characters right as they're launched, rather than just, you know, fiddling around with these characters like over the next like 3-4 months and then maybe getting them maxed out like a month after that. Artifact sets and a lot of other things in Genshin Impact take a very, very long time to farm out. So not having any kind of preparation for these characters makes it really detrimental for enjoyment for a lot of players. So I hope in the future they do add some kind of footer so that people can like enjoy these characters much earlier, rather than worrying about the next character as the next character is released. Giving a bigger roadmap too would also help out. What we get right now is a one patch kind of thing where we know what's happening in the next patch, but it would be really nice to know like 1-2 patches ahead of time, just so you know like if you're going to be summoning in the next patch or the following patch, so that you can actually know what you want to do. This would be a very, very helpful thing for players, so for figuring out what they want to do with primo gems, etc. Because Genshin Impact is not primarily a game where you want to spend thousands of dollars for the vast majority of the player base. A lot of people are free to play or just budget players in general. And Mihoyo stated that they want this game to last for many, many years. So if they want people to pay for the game in general, they're probably gonna have to subside on a lot of people spending a little bit of money versus a little bit of people spending a lot of money. Because if they try to like subside substantially on people who are spending a lot of money, you get people that are like Tectone, who is no longer whaling. And he says he's no longer going to be going for R5 weapons. Eventually, people who are whales kind of get fed up with the current state of the game and not wanting to whale anymore. So, to be honest, I think that's getting to a lot of people. In Tenha, like for a very brief moment of time, said, "I'm not going to whale, I swear." But then, you know, he caved. But still, it could be happening. Now, I don't know if either of these two claims are true, and if either of these two Giga Chads are going to stop whaling, but at the same time, I mean, the reason to keep whaling is getting smaller and smaller. For example, the difference on Raiden Shogun for an Engulfing Lightning R1 to R5 is very, very minimal. So players that are looking for the best possible expenditure for the resources are probably not going to be spending lots of money. And the way that you can figure that out is only through science and testing. But a lot of people have been doing lots of spreadsheets beforehand to like try to figure out the damage of certain characters to see if they're worth summoning for high refines in the weapons or not. Certain weapons that are high refine actually provide lots of value for lots of characters, but other weapons don't. For example, because whaling is becoming such a weird thing nowadays, Mihoyo is getting shadier and shadier. And I know we've talked primarily about leaks right now, but one of the things I wanted to bring to everybody's attention, because I wanted to let you know that Mihoyo is starting to go down a path that I am not really 100% comfortable with. You know how Beidou does not work with Ball? Neither does the Freedom Sword. So the Freedom Sword, if you didn't know, increases normal charge and plunge attack damage by 32%, as well as boosting attack. You'll still get the attack boost on Ball, but you don't get the 32% damage boost, or a 16% if you're at R1. So, to be perfectly honest, they're starting to go down a path of monetization and crackdowns overall, and they're acting very similar to a Raiden Shogun. So, Mihoyo, ease up, bruh. Seriously. The reason this is so important is because not getting information about characters prior to the release can cause people to spend $1,000 for a weapon that could potentially help out another character in the future that they really want to summon for. And that person, whoever could be, could spend $1,000 trying to get a really high tier weapon for the character they really want to summon for, but then they're not aware that the weapon, like the Freedom Sword, would not work for Raiden Shogun, which means they would spend $1,000 thinking that they would get ahead of the game when in fact they're actually going to not be able to use it at all. And because we're not getting the information regarding the characters in a timely manner, we're actually having people that are very frustrated in the Genshin Impact community, that are giga whales, that's pretty much finance Mihoyo's old career, that actually don't receive the full benefit of what they're really summoning for because they aren't aware. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. My name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know what you guys think about the leaker hunt decree in the comment section down below. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.